You know, maybe it was just foolish on my part. Maybe it was silly for me to feel this way, but I honestly felt like progress was being made. A line was finally being drawn in the sand. People said, you know what? Enough is enough. And I kind of was hoping for this with Pokemon Legends ZA, but you know what? I understand it. I understand it. You really liked Pokemon Legends Arceus, however you say it. You thought that gameplay loop was fun. Hell, I thought that gameplay loop was fun. It's a new Nintendo Switch 2 game. You're looking for something to play on the Switch 2. I might not agree with your decision making, but I understand your decision making. I understand why you were wanting to purchase this game, but I honestly felt like the line was finally being drawn in the sand. And people said, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. But all it took was one thing, one image to completely transform the conversation. And now, once again, they're going to get away with it. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are going to get away with yet another robbery. And what was that image? It was this. This little rabbit, Pikachu looking sumbitch, his little floppy ear. That's all it took to completely change the narrative around this game to the point of where Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are going to be laughing all the way to the bank with your $70, mind you, for a game key card. A $70 game key card for a game that has no reason to be on a game key card from a company, Nintendo themselves, saying, well, we're not going to publish any game key card games. No, we're not. But they are. Because they are publishing this game. And I know what you're saying to yourself. RGT, you know what? Why do you talk about Pokemon if you're tired of it? And it's because at one point in time, many, many moons ago, Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue came out, were bestowed upon the North American audience. And I was there. I was there. Myself and Pecker Dupree. Pecker Dupree had Pokemon Blue. I had Pokemon Red. And fun was had. We would watch the cartoon because the theme song was really good. And it was a fun time. And as Pokemon went on, yes, not a lot changed with it. But it was primarily dedicated to handhelds. And then when the console stuff came along, like Pokemon Snap, they were fun little side adventures. And there was a lot of fun to be had there. But as time has gone on, it seems like the franchise never matured. Now, there were some very excellent entries for handhelds, but once Pokemon was moving to consoles, people got it in their mind that, all right, now we're going to finally see the evolution of this franchise. We're going to see what Game Freak can really do, and the Pokemon Company and Nintendo all in conjunction with this franchise and what they could do to push the limits of what our imaginations could be. And Nintendo's been in the HD era since, what, 2012 with the Wii U? And we're nearing 14 years later, and Game Freak still has not figured out how to make a game look like a somewhat modern game when it comes to Pokemon. Bandai Namco figured that out. They figured that out with Pokemon, with new Pokemon Snap, Pokken Tournament. Fun games. Fun diversions. And you're saying, well, RGT, it's just kids. It's just kids. Kids are the ones that wants these games. That's inherently wrong. That's inherently wrong. First and foremost, yes, kids are kind of dumb. All right. When we're kids, we do dumb stuff. You know what I used to do when I was a kid? I'm not even gonna. I don't want to get into what I used to do as a kid because I'll end up out of context on Instagram. that has happened before with my booger wall story for Sonic Racing. I don't really remember how I got onto that. But kids do dumb stuff. They're learning the world. But there is a large amount of adults that are genuinely excited now because of our floppy-eared friend. And now the narrative around this game has completely changed. You look at the latest trailer over on the official Pokemon channel, this thing should be getting downvoted to all hell, much like the game keycard one did. But is it? No, it's mostly positive over there. What has happened? Just 2 days ago, the internet was crying for blood from the Pokemon Company. A game key card, $70. How dare you? How dare you? But then you have the Pokemon Defense Force come out. You know, all your favorite Poketubers telling you, oh, it's okay. It's okay. You know, this will be fun. This will be good. Look at how cute everything is. And these are grown adults as well. These are grown men, grown women, a lot of grown men with beards similar to mine. They're telling you everything is okay, to the point of where other people are like, yeah, you know what is okay. My negative feelings that I had initially are no longer valid because a little floppy-eared sumbitch. And you know what this is? This is Stockholm Syndrome. This is Stockholm Syndrome. This is a psyop by the government. And I don't know if it's the American government, the Japanese government. They may be working together on this. You know, there could be some collusion behind the scenes with this. But Pootopia is a psyop. Pootopia exists because they want to see how far they can really truly go with the $70 game, with the game key card, with minimal effort, with absolute minimal effort, because they know that the Pokemon fan base will buy it. There is no reason to believe that the Pokemon fan base is going to stop buying Pokemon stuff. And I think this is a perfect example of it. So they want to see how far they can really go with this Stockholm Syndrome, how much they can really abuse their fan base. That makes them the biggest IP in the world, mind you. This should be having all of the bells and whistles. Pokemon should be the standard for AAA gaming because of the amount of money that it makes and the amount of money that should be being put into the video games, which are a huge component of Pokemon. Obviously, they have the cards, the animes, the plushies, the movies, and stuff like that. But all of that is contingent on what the Pokemon games are doing. The Pokemon games are hot, then the other stuff is hot. The thing of it is we've never gotten to a point where it was a cooldown phase. And I think they know that. And I think they just want to beat it over your head. Hey, we're in control. We are in control. We are the Pokemon World Order, PWO. Because they have that you buy the balls. And you might say, "Oh, I'm not going to buy it." But then you see a good review online. It's not as bad as people are saying. I'm having fun with it. And I'm not sitting here saying you shouldn't have fun with these games. You can have fun with anything. All right, you can remember the cup and the ball thing where you're like, woo, and the ball goes into the cup. You can do whatever you want. I'm not here to diminish your fun. What I am here to do is I'm here to say that I feel like the amount of people that are having fun with this seems very odd to me. It seems very odd to me that people are so accepting of mediocrity when it comes to Pokemon games. Because if this was any other company, if this was Xbox, PlayStation, no, would not fly. If this was another Nintendo property, this would not fly. Imagine a Mario game or a Zelda game that looked like that. That has never pushed any sort of boundary for what, Nintendo represents and what Nintendo can do. People would ask questions. People would be like, what the hell is this? But with Pokemon, you're just so used to it. You're preconditioned. You're more interested in our floppy-eared little bastard than an actual quality game. It's a cult. It's a cult. The Pokemon cult. And there must be some sort of sacrifice that you have to do to get in it. Like, I genuinely do not understand why anyone... I mean, I get it. Some people like cozy games and crap like that. That's fine. But why any, like, person is genuinely excited for this when it's a $70 game key card that looks very low effort, and the gameplay loop is something that exists and is probably done better with, like, Dragon Quest Builders 2 and 1. You know, games that actually look like they belong in this century. But it doesn't matter what I say. My opinion is completely invalid because everyone has drank the Kool-Aid. Pikachu and little floppy-eared, he's the Jim Jones of all of this. He's going to move you to a different country. But see, really, here's really what Pootopia is all about. Pootopia is a way, it's the gateway. So you're creating your own little Pokemon land. Because that's what the Pokemon company is going to do. They're going to buy up a huge plot of land in some country, and then you will have access to move there. They will move you in there, and you will become property of Pokemon Company, and you will build this land for them. Because now you have the tools necessary because you played Pootopia. You will be part of the PWO, the Pokemon World Order, which will then start to expand and expand and expand because now the base is getting bigger. There's more people moving into the compound. We've got to expand. We've got more money coming in now. We could buy up more land. And the next thing you know, you're going to wake up. You're going to open up your window. And everything's going to be Pokemon. Nintendo and Pokemon Company, they're getting away with it again. Getting away with it again.